Your engine cranks endlessly but simply refuses to start, or it finally sputters to life only to run incredibly rough while a glowing check engine light glares right at you from the dashboard. Pulling a code P0377 means your powertrain control module is receiving a high-resolution timing reference signal from sensor B that has way too few pulses. Modern engines rely heavily on extreme precision to fire the spark plugs and pulse the fuel injectors at the exact perfect millisecond. To do this, the computer watches a specialized sensor, usually the crankshaft or camshaft position sensor, which reads a spinning metal disc called a reluctor wheel or tone ring. This wheel has dozens of perfectly spaced metal teeth. As the teeth spin past the magnetic sensor, they create a pulsing electrical signal that acts like a metronome for your engine computer. There are generally two types of these sensors. A Hall effect sensor uses a 3-wire setup to send a crisp digital square wave back to the computer, usually relying on a steady 5-volt reference signal. The other type is a permanent magnet sensor, which generates its own alternating current voltage that increases as the engine spins faster. When the computer expects to see a specific number of pulses per engine revolution but suddenly gets a much lower count, it throws this code because it has completely lost track of where the engine pistons are located. The absolute most common mistake people make here is blindly throwing a brand new sensor at the engine without checking the mechanical side. You have to physically inspect that spinning tone ring. If a rock got kicked up and chipped off 3 metal teeth, or if the magnetic sensor tip is completely covered in a thick layer of metallic engine shavings from old oil, the sensor simply cannot read the pulses correctly. If the mechanical wheel looks perfect, grab your digital multimeter. For a permanent magnet sensor, check the internal resistance, which should typically sit right between 500 and 1200 ohms. For a Hall effect sensor, verify that you have a solid 5-volt power supply and a clean ground connection. A frayed wire shorting out against a hot exhaust pipe will easily drop those crucial signal pulses to 0 volts, leaving you stranded with a car that refuses to run.